And whoa, whoa. Good morning. Hi, how are you all? I'm Jane. I am the rolling out of bed Jane person. Usually, you see me up, I've been to the gym, but you know what it is like when the time changes or we're getting really close to that time change and it's darker in the morning and you just kind of want to stay in bed. Plus, it's raining here. I'm coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. And we are on, look, check out this lighting, like going through the split in my hair here. Like, okay, that's bad. Wow. Oh, well, you guys. So I've got a little bit of a different background. Yes, and I am coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. This every Monday through Friday. If I'm not traveling, somebody just popped on. Hey. Hi, Jeff. Hi, William. You made it. How did you do that? Good to see you. So, yeah. Anyway, it is raining in Dallas. Sorry about all the jiggling around. I'm trying to get this whole thing set up so that we can do this. But you have no idea the kind of things I have to go through to get this to work. It's just not like using a laptop. It's not that simple. Anyway, it's raining. We're in Dallas. It's raining. It's going to be raining through the rest of the day. It rained all day yesterday after I did my 818. And it's cold. Oh, it's awesome. It's like, what? It's like 46 degrees. And here's what's really funny. It says it feels like it's 43 degrees, right? And I don't know if you've watched some of my other videos in the past here, but in the summer, it'll say like, oh, it's 94 degrees, but it feels like 99. And I always go bonkers over that because well, if it feels like it's 99, then damn it, it must be 99, right? It's not really 94. It's 99 if it feels like it's 99. So here they are telling us it's 46 and it feels like it's 43. So I guess automatically in the winter, it's going to feel colder. In the summer, it's going to feel hotter. Why don't we just say that's what it is? Why don't we just say it? Oh, William says it's raining in Mobile too. William is in Mobile. Hey, Jeff, where are you? California? Just taking a wild guess. This morning, I am having ACV. How many of you know what that is? ACV and hot water and lemon juice and honey. ACV is apple cider vinegar. I'm having organic apple cider vinegar in the cup. It's a little tart. And that's what the honey's for. To offset that. It's supposed to be super good for you. And so no time like right now for me to be doing things that are super good for me. Okay, what's going on? What the heck? Why are we here? We're here because I am going to read a question. And here again, I feel like you guys are looking up my nose. But are you seeing right up my nose right now? This is such a weird camera angle, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. My apologies. To the point. One question a day. And my cousin sent me this book back in May. Cousin Lenny, here's a big shout out to you. I still love you, gorgeous girl. Okay, sometimes she watches the show and she doesn't chime in. But because of her, I am doing this. This book is the most disgustingly dirty book now that has ever been. And I'm not sure how it got so snotty dirty, like some little 4-year-old kid's book, but it is it's gross. But what's inside of it is interesting. So there's a question that we have to answer every single day. And if you have this journal, one question a day, 5-year journal, you can get it. I don't know why you'd want to. Some of the questions are pretty hokey. And you're supposed to sit down at night and journal about this. And it's the same question each day of the year. And you go through it for 5 years. And then I guess you're supposed to review all of your answers and how you've changed your mind over the years answering the same questions, or maybe not changed your mind. Who knows? Or maybe you died in the middle of it. I don't know, So I'm not sure about the person that wrote this book, honestly. Sorry. If you ever watch this, I'm not totally dissing you, but some of these questions are really dumb. And some are quite amazing. In any case, we are going to try to take every question from whether it's amazing to begin with or so-so or totally pathetic and take it somewhere that we wouldn't normally want to go to, like here and here. And so the point is, you're going to take 10 minutes out of your day to hang out with me and have some ACV. That rhymes. Hang out with me, have some ACV, right? And we're going to chat, man. We're going to chat about real life. And for some of us, that can be very intense. Some of us are so shut down that it's not intense at all because we aren't feeling jack shit. And some of us are in a space where we just thrive on answering questions all the time, just to find out what's in there. So let's find out what the question is today. I don't know what the question is. I never know what the question is. I like to just, have this hit me right in the moment. And I'm going to pose the question to you, and maybe I'll answer it for myself. Maybe I won't. But in any case, you're welcome to be over there in the chat box and to chime in with conversation, because that's what makes it really fun. It's not fun when I'm sitting here just doing this total dissertation, like some teacher in school, and you're just having to listen to it, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to listen to it. You can just click off of the video and go watch something else. Okay, happy October 25th. It's almost Halloween. Yesterday we had a question about scary movies. Let's see if they stay in the Halloween theme here. October. If you could be reincarnated, whom or what would you return as? Oh, now that's one of their better questions. Boom. About darn time they came up with a good question. If you could be reincarnated, and why do you think they're talking about that right now? I think because Halloween brings up all of the stuff about, right, all the gory things and things about death, and Day of the Dead, right, which is like the Mexican thing, I believe. You know what? I don't even really know. Okay, I'm going to sound like an idiot. What, Dia de Muerte or something like that? Day of the Dead. Not even sure what that's all about. But there's the question. Let's think about it. And those of you who popped on and said, hi, come on, I challenge you to put a question in the chat box. And let's get a little conversation rolling. If you could be reincarnated, the question was whom or what? What? Was that the question? What is an interesting word to add into the question. Whom, what would you return as? Okay, well, you can't return as an inanimate, I think that's how you say it, inanimate object. Returning as an unliving object, like you cannot return as a cell phone, okay? Can't do that. Those are the rules of the question today, I'm telling you right now. So it has to be a living thing. That could be a plant. It could be an animal. It could be an amoeba, I suppose, if that's what you're into and you want to do it. You could be a fish, something unusual under the ocean that you don't even know exists, because none of us know it exists. What else? Living, vegetable, right? I said plant, vegetable, fruit. What else? Shoot. You could be, I don't know. Can you come back as things like, because these might be inanimate objects like air, like wind, rain, fire, snow, hail, sunshine. Now you can't come back as sunshine. You can't do that. Okay. So I'm going to think about this for myself for a minute. And hopefully you all are going to come up with some kind of comments in the box there. If you could come back, if I could come back, oh, reincarnated. Now, first of all, did I say, no, I did not tell you. I'm way into the notion of reincarnation. Some people can't even allow that into their thought process. I know that when I was hardcore Christian, which I was for 20 years, and nothing against that, man, it was the best thing. It was right where I needed to be at the time. I'm not that anymore. But I do know that during those times, reincarnation was not an option. Oh, no, not an option. William, did you know that October 31st is the same day as the flood of Noah's day? I did not know that. And here I am telling you I was a hardcore Christian. I didn't know the date on it. They actually have a date on that flood. That's interesting. Well, did you know that in Temecula, California, before the seasons started to shift like they're doing now, which I don't even know if y'all are aware that at least in California, summer doesn't even really start till like July now, and it goes clear till somewhere in the middle of November now. But it used to be that come October 31st, that's when the rains would start in Temecula. Rain in Temecula, which if you've ever been to Temecula, it never rains there. But that's how it used to be. I lived there. I know. William, Buddhists believe that you come back as any living creature. Okay, yeah, absolutely correct. So that's why I'm giving you that option to come back as anything you want, as long as it's alive, right? I can't get my computer screen to, oh, geez. All right. So we got issues here. Anyway, so if I could come back, and I do believe that that happens. I'll tell you a quick little story too. I have 2 horses. Now I have to say I had 2 horses. One of those horses has now crossed the Rainbow Bridge just very, very recently. And, you know, wherever spirits, animals go, when they cross the Rainbow Bridge, that's where he is. And, but the cool thing and why this matters is he was never happy as a horse. And I could never figure out why he was such an unhappy horse. And I did everything I could. I mean, he became my horse kind of by default. Somebody else just dumped him. And, you know, being the nurturing caretaker thing that I am, I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, who else is going to take this horse? I'll take him. I'll take care of him. Didn't really want him, to tell you the truth. But I took him, and I took really good care of him and loved him as much as a horse like him could be loved. And what I determined was he was never happy as a horse. And what I also noticed was that he loved to be hand walked, hated being ridden. He looked at you if you got on his back. He'd turn around and look at you like, what the heck are you doing on my back, lady? Like, hello? Like, this is not normal. And I'm like, you're a horse, dude. This is very normal. But we would always have an argument about that. And then I noticed that he really wanted to be hand walked, just like a dog on a leash. Loved that. He would walk with you anywhere and hated being ridden. And then another thing he started doing was lifting his hind leg and pointing with his nose to his horsey guy parts that he wanted, like his belly down there scratched. Just like a dog. You know, when dogs like lay on the ground and they like open up their legs and they're like, oh, scratch me, right? So it's the same thing. Every single time I come to see him, he lifts up his leg and he says, hey, lady, scratch me down there. Oh my gosh, like that is such a dog thing. And then one day I was hand walking him and I took him over to this great big barn full of hay just to let him have a feast, picking from all the different piles of hay that were stacked up, right? And so I'm sitting there watching him do that. It's a hot summer day. There are flies all around. And all of a sudden, he goes, there's a fly, right? Coming by like this. And he goes to the fly. I flipped out because horses don't do that. You know, you've seen dogs trying to catch flies, right? Horses never, ever, they can have flies crawling all over their lips and in their eyes and stuff. And they never, ever, they might shake their head. They're not going to try to eat a fly. He tried to eat the fly. And right then, it hit me like a ton of bricks. This horse used to be a dog. Here we are talking about reincarnation. This is how it all fits in. And if you came in late, the question is, if you could be reincarnated, who or what would you want to be? And I'm telling you about this horse that I had that I swear used to be a dog. And when I tapped in a little bit deeper, because I kind of had this weird way of communicating with animals, and maybe I flippin' made this up, but I could swear that actually right then, let me back up. Right then when he bit that fly, I said, oh my gosh, because it hit me. It just hit me. I said, Woden, you used to be a dog, didn't you? And he looked at me as if we're having a real conversation. He looks at me and he goes, like, oh, it is about darn time you figured that out. So then I dove in a little bit deeper. And what it seemed was that he loved being a dog and wanted to come back as a bigger dog. And the biggest dog, I don't know if the communications got messed up when he put in his little order as what to come back as. Who knows how that worked, right? But he came back as a very big dog. You know, the American Indians used to call horses big dogs. And he came back as a big dog. And unfortunately, it was a horse. And he was like, WTF, I don't want to be this big of a dog. And why are people sitting on my flipping back? And how come nobody is scratching my junk and no one's taking me on a walk? He was a very upset horse. So fortunately, when I figured out all of these things for him, I started treating him as a dog, and he had a much better life from that point on. So what's my, and the question is, what do I want to come back as? William, what do you want to come back as? Jeff, hey, are you guys still out there? I bet you all just tuned out because here I am babbling on about this big story. You would think I had coffee in this cup today, and it's just apple cider vinegar. Woo! Mm-mm-mm. It's tart. So if I could come back reincarnated, which I'm sure I have, as a matter of fact, many, many times, I'd probably. Can you go back in time? Or can you only go forward in time, or like current time to come back? Because when you get reincarnated, is time an issue? That's a really good question. Because what if I want to go back and be an American Indian? What if? But wait, those days are really over, right? So if I ask or determine that I want to be an Indian and I come back, I may end up as a modern day Indian living, let's say, out, in Temecula on a reservation called Pachanga, right? Where, if you've ever been there, it's kind of, but the cool thing is now those Indians get tons of money because they built a casino. Very smart. I'm very proud of them. They built a casino to take all of the white man's money so that they could have the money. That was so smart because the reservation was the dumps. It's probably not the dumps now. They've been making crap tons of money. Anyway, I would come back as an American Indian for sure. I may come back as an animal. I may very well come back as a dog. And certainly I would come back as a horse. And who knows? I mean, there's so many things you could try. I mean, you're going to die anyway, so you might as well just do it for a time. Maybe I would pick something with a really short lifespan, some animal that has a short lifespan, like a bunny or something. But then you kind of risk being squashed by a car. And I don't know if I would want to experience that. And what's the point of being reincarnated? So that you can just come back and experience life on the planet in a different way than you've ever known it before. When you think about it like that, then it really opens up the doors, right? You just don't pick some other human being to come back as. You think about the kind of experience you want to have. And if you want to get really deep with it, I could blow your mind with theories that people have about coming back to have experiences. And some spirits choose to have experiences that you would not even want to have, but somebody does it. Somebody has to do it, because people that come back and are criminals and do horrible things are the people that are having that experience. They're also giving that experience to somebody. And that gets really trippy when you start to think about how things happen, why you may have ended up in a certain situation where you were the victim. You did not ask for this thing, and yet it's happening. But if you go back, if you think about this thing, it's called like the contract theory. Now I'm getting really deep on you people, and you may want to drop off at this point. This is just a theory, okay? Don't get all bent out of shape. You can just think about this. But the contract theory is like somewhere in the spirit realm, you and your soul pod, these are the other souls that you travel with and you know very well. And it's your pod. You know these people. You all agree to the different roles or people that you're going to play the next time you drop into the planet, because each one of us souls wants to have a different experience. So we're willing to either give somebody that experience. We agree to that. Okay, I will give you that experience. I will be the perpetrator. You will be the victim. And I will get to experience being the criminal, and you will get to experience being the victim, because we are in agreement. And you would never let somebody that wasn't in your soul pod play any of those roles. Only people that you love and trust. Isn't that weird? But then when you're here and you're on the planet and this thing really happens, you forget. You've given up your memory, right? So you don't even know that you've contracted to do these things. I would like to start fresh again as the same person, but with the knowledge and experience I have learned from in this. That is really good. Who said that? That's really interesting. I would like to start fresh again as the same person, but with the knowledge and experiences I have learned from in this life. Yeah, I think that's a really, really good one, right? To come back with some wisdom. But that's the point of coming back again and again, is that theoretically, whatever you learn this time in your life, you take that that level that you're at this point, and when you come back, that's pretty much where you start at again, and you move forward. So if you weren't awake this time and you're missing all the lessons, guess what? If you come back again, if we have a say about that, do we even have a say? Do we all just automatically get recycled and have to come back again? You know, the whole karma thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't claim to know. I just love to think about these things. If you don't learn your lessons, you come back at the same thing, and it's like Groundhog Day. You're doing it over and over and over again until you learn. And then each time you come back, you advance a little bit more and a little bit more until your brain opens up and you can really just let these things in and out to think about. It's quite fascinating. It's so fascinating. Obviously, you've got me babbling about it, and we've been here for 20 minutes and 40 seconds, and I should probably shut the heck up and let you all get on with your day, because I told you this was going to be a short day. And I mean, every day is supposed to be a short day. So feel free to join me. Feel free to share this with somebody. Hey, if you know somebody that likes to do a little soul searching, or, you know, talk about things or have questions asked or whatever the heck, tell them about this and get them to pop in and join the conversation. So much better when we do it that way. All righty, people. This has been a really good conversation, as the warrior said in The Last Samurai. Have you seen that movie? This has been a very good conversation. Bye for now.